Ko Tararua te maunga, ko ōtaki te awa, ko Ngāti Raukawa ki te tonga te iwi, ko Ngāti Kapu Manua Whiti te hapu, ko Joanne Hakaraia Olsen tōku ingoa. Tēnā koutou katoa. What I've just said to you then is part of my pepehā, or where I belong, part of my identity. And at the very beginning I mention my maunga, my mountain, and I also mention my awa, my river. The mountain that I talk about is Tararua, Tararua te maunga, or the Tararua Ranges. I say that it's my mountain because that's what raised me. That's where I was born. That's what raised me, and not just me, but my whānau, my hapu, my iwi, my ancestors. So that mountain is a part of me. And when I'm saying that Tararua is my mountain, I am that mountain, because we do not see a separation between the te taiao, the environment, and ourselves. So the mountain is me and I am the mountain. So when I think about a mountain that is sacred to me, and when I want to ground myself or feel the strength of my ancestors or feel the strength of who I am, I think about my mountain. It is solid. It is solid. Solid and strong and powerful. And I just wanted to share that with you today. We're just talking about the mountain because we're going to do a guided meditation connecting to a mountain that you find sacred or that's special to you. And I just want to talk about, what does a mountain symbolize for you? What does it symbolize for you? The spiritual symbolism of a mountain is of its close connection to the divine, to the sacred, to God. The strength of a mountain and the power of a mountain and its robustness, its sturdiness, its motionlessness, its permanence is so powerfully strong, and such a wonderful analogy that we can connect into, to bring that into our being when we are feeling ungrounded, or when we're feeling that we need to have a pick-me-up, or that we need to stand firm in our place of being, our place of standing. Also with a mountain, the te tihi o te maunga, or the tip of the mountain, is like an antenna. It is the tip that connects, like a direct connection to the heavens, or a direct connection to God, to the sacred. It is like an antenna in that it is, we are, as human beings, we are conduits of energy, of messages. The tip of a maunga is also a conductor, a conduit, but a very powerful conductor of light, which are light codes of messages, which is why we hear stories about going to the mountain, climbing to the top of the mountain and receiving messages from God, because it's like you're at the antenna. And the physical symbolism of climbing a mountain, the symbolism of that is doing inner elevation within. So strengthening from within and going deeper within to reach the source of the sacred, of the divine. That is inner elevation. So the mountain is very, very powerful for us. And the mountain is part of our pepehā as for our Māori culture, it's part of our pepehā that we connect into. So all I need to do is think of my maunga, the Tararua, and how strong and powerful they are. I'm a long way from my mountain at the moment, but I know that I have embodied it and that I can immediately go to those places, to that space of the Maori or the life force of that mountain anytime I like, because I've embodied the Maori of that mountain or the life force of that mountain. And how I have embodied it is that I have built a relationship with it. I have stepped onto it. I have talked to it. I have connected to it spiritually, and I have given reverence and acknowledgement to it. I have built a strong relationship with it. It's in my pepehā. It's my identity, and when I meet new people or go to new places, I say my pepehā that talks about my mountain, and that gives people an idea of who I am, because we can literally see the mountain in a person, where a person comes from. When they talk about their awa, their river, or they talk about their mountain, you can actually see the Māori. If you know the Māori of rivers, if you know the Māori of mountains, you can actually see that in a person, and you can see how strong it is within a person, of how well or how strong they have connected to it. So it's very, very powerful. It's very real. A person can take on the Māori of their mountain and their river just by connecting into it, and as a practice, you start to imbue the life force of these beautiful, magical beings in our environment. I'd like to share a story about an event that I experienced when I was connecting to my mountain, the Tararua. I went to visit, and I wanted to stay very on the maunga itself, as close as possible that I could get to, where I could deepen my connection to it. There was an off-the-grid cabin that was in the mountains that I could stay at, and I chose to go and stay there. I was on my own, and it was easy. It was an easy drive. Like I could drive to the cabin, but as it was still daylight, and as I was unpacking and getting settled and having a look around, and I was tuning into my environment and just feeling absolutely privileged and humbled to be able to stay in that cabin, to be close to my maunga. I was feeling very, very humbled that I could do that. And I could hear in the distance the river, the Otaki River as well, and that was important for me to hear as well. As the light started to change, I think it was about 4 p.m. and it was autumn, so it got dark around 5:30, around that time, at the time. And as the light started to change, I was sitting in the cabin looking out, thinking, I started to feel a little bit of fear, and I didn't know what to do. And I kept thinking, well, it's very easy for me to just jump in my car, head into town and find a motel where I could stay in. And I just felt that it would just defeat the whole purpose of why I'm there. And I had to look into the fear that I was feeling. Now, just with this particular area, there are lots of spiritual beings that surround the mountains and the rivers, and I knew of them, but I felt safe. I felt safe because I knew that my ancestors had walked those trails and had set up camp and they walked those trails. So I did feel safe, but there was a fear coming over me, and I kept thinking about jumping in my car before it got too dark. I decided that I would stay. I made that strong decision because I had to look into the fear I was feeling and really sit with that fear. And I started to think about the mountain and the energy or the life force that was coming from it. And I suddenly realized that there is a fine line between power and fear, a very fine line, that I could see that mountain, I could feel fear, but in actual fact what I was feeling was the power of that mountain. I was feeling the almighty power of that mountain. But also, when I went a little bit deeper into it, I felt that I was feeling the power of God. I was alone because it was very quiet, and I was alone for the first time where I could really sense my surroundings, and there was nowhere to run. There was nowhere to hide. It was just me, myself, and God. This power that I was feeling coming from this mountain. And it suddenly dawned on me that, wow, that this is, I was, first of all, I was elated and I was relieved that it wasn't fear. But in actual fact, I was fearing the power of God. And I felt that once before. And it reminded me of, in the Bible, they used to fear God. They used to fear God and acknowledge God. It was just something that I was remembering of how God was revered and feared. And that came to me as well. And I connected it to reverence. And I just wanted to just bow down, basically, because I was feeling that reverence in that moment. And it's exactly how the people would have felt in those early days when they feared God. It wasn't fear, it was reverence, it was acknowledgement, it was almighty. It's so different to what I sense now with our relationship to the divine, to the sacred. It's a different relationship, and what seems to be a different relationship, it seems to be more relational or personal, when in actual fact we have forgotten the sacred, the feeling of being sacred and revering God. And that was just very enlightening for me at the time, and I'll always remember that. I took that on board as an almighty lesson and something that I have embodied, and I'll always remember the fine line between fear and power and what that mountain showed me. And I was very grateful, very humbled. I did stay in that cabin all night. Okay, I hardly slept, but I stayed because I needed to strengthen my relationship, not only with that mountain, but with God, with the divine. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. When I got up the next morning, it was a new day. I felt amazing. I felt amazing, and I felt renewed, and I went about my day and left that maunga that day. But I have embodied that. That was an experience that I'll always remember, and I have embodied that reverence. And I just wanted to share that with you. You might have a similar experience, and I would love to hear it. If you would like to share it in the comments, I'm we're learning, everybody is learning, and it's always supportive and helpful when people comment about their experiences or share their experiences, that we're not alone. You know, we're not alone in our journey of connecting with the sacred, with the divine. Okay, we're going to go into a guided meditation now where we connect with a mountain. It could be your mountain, it could be a sacred mountain that you've experienced, that you've connected with. It could be a mountain in your area that you're close to. It could be a mountain that is somewhere a long distance away from you, but you have a great connection to it. And so this guided meditation is about bringing you into your body and strengthening your body, strengthening yourself, strengthening your wairua, but bringing everything back to you and being strong and powerful like a maunga. Okay, so let's take 3 deep breaths together, everybody. Ha ki roto. Ha ki waho. Ha ki roto. Ha ki waho. Ha ki roto. Ha ki waho. With your eyes closed, I want you to feel your feet. Move your feet. I want you to focus on your hips, your legs, your stomach, coming up to your shoulders, feeling your arms, your hands, coming up to your neck, your throat, your head, your aura. Feeling the life force in your body, in your mauri, in your wairua, in your spirit. I want you to envision, imagine roots coming down from your hips, through your legs, through your feet, going down through to Papatuanuku, to Gaia, to Earth Mother, right down to the center of the earth, sending the roots down, right down to the core, the magnetic core. Feel Papatuanuku. Feel Papatuanuku as she sends her aroha, her mauri, up through your roots, coming up to meet your being, your body, coming through you, going out through the top of your head and up into Sky Father. Rangi nui. The mauri of Papatuanuku greet Rangi Nui, the Sky Father, breathing in, bringing the mauri, the energy of Rangi Nui down through your head, through your body, out through your legs, going down to your roots and into Papatuanuku. So you have the mauri of Papatuanuku and Rangi Nui going through your tinana, kapai. Now I want you to envision or imagine your mountain. You're standing in front of your mountain. You can see the whole being of this mountain. What feeling comes up for you when you sense this mountain? What feeling comes over you? What do you feel? And knowing that every feeling, every emotion is perfect, is perfect. Some might feel emotional, they might feel mamai or some grief. Some might feel powerful, some might feel a yearning to be in that space. Just allow that emotion, allow yourself to feel that emotion. This is where it is connecting with your ngākau, with your heart, opening your heart as you connect to your mountain. Sending aroha, sending love to your mountain. Let it emanate through you towards this mountain. Give it aroha. And as your aroha is going to this mountain, feel the aroha being reciprocated from this mountain towards you, so that the exchange from you to the mountain is almighty. There is reverence, acknowledgement of the mana and power of what you are doing right now. Breathe it into your body. Breathe it into your body. Breathe it into your aura, your modi. Embody this wonderful and magical feeling. I want you to look at your mountain now. See it in its glory. I want you to see if there is a colour. Do you see a colour? Do you hear a sound? Or is it a feeling that you get when you see your mountain? Is there a symbol? Is there a message for you? You may have a message for your mountain. Talk to your mountain. Kapai everybody. You're going to come back into your body. Feel your feet. Feel your feet in your hands. Take a deep breath in. Ha ki roto. Ha ki waho. Acknowledge your mountain. Give thanks to your mountain. Give thanks to Rangi Nui, Papa Tuanuku, Sky Father, Earth Mother. Give thanks to yourself for being in this moment and giving reverence to these magical beings. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. Ka pai. Ngā mihi. I hope you enjoyed that guided meditation, and you can do this meditation. Remember to save it. Remember to save it, and you can do this meditation. If you felt emotional or a bit of grief while you were talking to your mountain, while you were connecting, just know that a layer, you've opened your ngākau, you've opened your heart, and just know that you have brought down a wall, or you've softened your heart, and that this is the perfect time to do some writing, to do some journaling about what it is that you're feeling. This is the perfect time to do it, and to actually start to remove some layers, because you're in that heart space. Your resonance is strong, you're a strong conduit right now, and a conductor, because you've connected in with your mountain. So remember to write and go deeper with the feelings that you have experienced just now. Ka pai everybody, ngā mihi nui ki a koutou. We'll see you again. Kia ora.